Now let's see a few things that can be inferred from the experiment. Now the first one is, why is hydrogen carbonate solution used instead of water? Now, as stated in our first slide, or in our setup slide, the hydrogen carbonate solution is there to supply us with our carbon dioxide. We need a constant supply of carbon dioxide. That is the reason why hydrogen carbonate is used instead of water. The second one is, suggest how this procedure can be modified so that the distance between light and then the plant will not be varied. Now, light intensity reduces with distance. Light intensity also reduces with the power of the light. So if we have light of 100 watts, we can reduce it to light of 80 watts at the same distance. Then we can reduce to 60 watts at the same distance. Okay, so the change in distance reduces the light intensity. But over here, we can change the power of the light instead. Here, why should the lab be darkened? We need to darken the lab so that we know that the light we are supplying is the only source of light for our setup. Number 4, what are the main sources of inaccuracies in the experiment? Now, bubbles, we're going to count bubbles, but the size of bubbles are not going to be taken into consideration. Sometimes you could have one very big bubble of oxygen, and at other times you could have very small bubbles of oxygen. So here, if we decide to count the number of bubbles without considering the size of the bubbles, that could be a source of inaccuracy in our experiment. In number 5, if the gas produced was found not to be pure oxygen, how would this be accounted for? It is very possible our solution can contain several other gases, because the sodium hydrogen carbonate is supplying us with a constant source of carbon dioxide. So in this case, it is very easy for the gas not to be pure oxygen. Then the last one, why does the rate of photosynthesis not increase at very high light intensities? This is because at very high light intensities, the other factors like CO2 becomes limiting.